Thank you, everybody. I love New York. I am thrilled to be here. There are some, all of you are special guests, but we've got some folks that I want to make sure to acknowledge individually. First of all, we've got some outstanding members of Congress here, all of whom are completely supportive of the agenda that we are moving forward. Nita Lowey, Anthony Weiner, Joe Crowley, Carolyn Maloney, Steve Israel. Give them a big round of applause. I think they're over here. Thank you, guys. I want everybody to know how much I appreciate everything you've done for me, for this country, for the candidates in this room at a time when we need your efforts more than ever. And I want to thank you for supporting our candidate for City Comptroller, John Liu, who's here in the House. Our nominee for Public Advocate, Bill de Blasio, is here. And a great City Comptroller, our candidate for Mayor, my friend Billy Thompson, is in the House. Now, many of you, both here in this room and watching via webcast, a lot of you guys were on the front lines of our campaign. You knocked on doors, you made phone calls, you devoted your time and your energy, and you wrote those checks. Even when you couldn't afford it. Is that what you told, that's what you told your spouse? Yes, we can. All because you understood that we were in a special moment in our country's history. And I want you to know that not a day goes by when I don't think about those efforts of yours. And the obligation, as a consequence of you giving me this great honor, the obligation that I have to every American, not just those who worked in the campaign, but every American, everybody who put their faith and hopes, their sweat and tears into a campaign that wasn't just about winning an election, but was about changing a country. Now, it's been less than a year since the Obama family packed up and moved to Washington. People don't, so much has happened that we tend to forget. It's only been 9 months since I was sworn in, 9 months to the day. And I want to report to you that Malia and Sasha are doing fine. Michelle's a pretty good first lady. We got Bo. He's handling his business in the White House. But it's important for all of us to remember what the situation was when we came in 9 months ago. Because there's some people out there who seem to have a selective memory. There's sort of a revisionist history about what was waiting for us when we began this presidency. We were facing an economic crisis unlike any we had seen in generations. Losing 700,000 jobs a month. Financial system on the verge of meltdown. Economists of every political persuasion, they were fearful that we might fall into a Great Depression. You remember that? And that's why we acted boldly and we acted swiftly to pass the Recovery Act. It's made a difference in the lives of families across America. People don't, I think it's made a difference in the lives of families across America. People don't, I think, remember where we were and where we are now. We put a tax cut into the pockets of small business owners and 95% of working families. Just like I promised during the campaign. The most progressive tax cut in history. 7 million families here in New York that benefited from. We extended unemployment insurance, increased unemployment insurance for 12 million Americans to help them get through tough times. That's helped millions of New Yorkers. We made COBRA 65% cheaper to make sure that if you were looking for a job, your family wouldn't go without health care. That was in the Recovery Act. We gave relief to states, including New York, to help prevent more teachers and firefighters and police officers from being laid off. According to initial reports, 250,000 jobs in our schools were saved as a consequence of the Recovery Act. 250,000 teachers and educational specialists. We supported more than 30,000 loans to small businesses, including 2,000 in this state alone. We've helped create thousands of private sector jobs. But not only did we provide tax cuts, not only did we provide relief to states that needed it and individuals that were having a tough time. That's not just what this Recovery Act was about. We also happened to, in the Recovery Act, invest a greater sum in education than any time in our history. And couple that with critical reforms that had been bottlenecked in Congress for years. The Recovery Act was the largest investment in clean energy in American history. It was the largest boost to medical research and basic research in history. It was the single largest investment in infrastructure since Eisenhower built the interstate highway system back in the 1950s, and it's putting people back to work all across America, rebuilding roads and bridges and dams. So that was pretty good. That was the first one. But we didn't stop there. As Tim Kaine mentioned, we passed Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act because I think women should get the pay the same as men for doing the same work. We lifted the ban on stem cell research and reaffirmed science to its rightful place in America. We extended health care to 11 million children in this country, including 4 million who didn't have health insurance. We passed the Ted Kennedy service bill, expanding Peace Corps and AmeriCorps, creating service opportunities all across America. We appointed a New Yorker from the Bronx to the Supreme Court, named Senator Sotomayor. We passed legislation to protect consumers from credit card abuse. We passed a law to prevent abuse in the mortgage industry. We passed a law that will protect our children from being targeted from big tobacco companies. For the first time in history, we've begun to put in place a new national policy aimed at both increasing fuel economy and reducing greenhouse gas pollution for all new trucks and cars sold in the United States of America. That's in the first 9 months. The fact is, we've already had one of the most productive first years of any administration in decades. Productive first years of any administration in decades. That's because of you. That's because of the work you did. That's what knocking on doors and making phone calls was all about. And by the way, that's just what we've done at home. I've got a whole nother portfolio. Abroad, we've begun a new era of engagement. We're working with our partners to stop the spread of nuclear weapons, seeking the goal of a safer, more secure world that's free of nuclear weapons. We're working in concert with nations on just about every continent to stem the economic downturn and to finally confront the challenge of climate change. We banned torture. We committed to closing Guantanamo. We're rebuilding our military. We're reaffirming our alliances. We're getting out of Iraq. We've made progress in fighting Al-Qaeda in Pakistan and Somalia and Indonesia. After the first 9 months.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. To opportunity and prosperity.